The lights are red. Amanda, you are good to go.
Thanks, Paul.
Good evening, everybody. Call this meeting of Nickel Plate Review Committee to order. Rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation. Roll call.
Selena.
Here.
Mandy.
Here.
Amanda.
Here.
And Rich. Thank you. We do have a quorum.
Awesome. And so the next item on the agenda is approval of the last meeting's minutes. Motion to approve.
Second.
Yes. All you, right?
Yeah, you can say two.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Motion is approved.
Very good.
Okay, no corrections. Ross, you
Yes.
have an addition to tonight's agenda.
So Chair, I have one additional item that it was not shown on the agenda. Currently, because Jamie Neves is no longer on this committee, I'd like you to open the floor for a vice president in case you're not available to be at a meeting. So we just need to open the floor for vice president, someone to accept that nomination, and then a roll call vote.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll nominate Selena then.
I also nominate Selena. Okay, all in favor of Selena serving as vice chair, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is passed. Thank you. Is there any old business to review
No,
for
ma'am.
tonight's meeting? Hearing none, we can move on. So now we will move on to Maple Dell. The first item under our new business, the request to approve the townhome elevation by David Weekly Homes. Ross?
Yes, thank you. Before you is NPR 25-2. This is Maple Dell, and this is for the alley-loaded townhomes. I think we're all familiar with this location, but the Maple Dell neighborhood is located along 116th Street and aligns with Holland Drive. So this is just as you're entering or exiting the Nickel Plate District. The zoning for this area is the VC Village Center. So we anticipate the VC Village Center, which is actually both items you're hearing tonight, is typically our population center. It has an opportunity to be townhomes, multi-use development. Before you tonight is a townhome project. Just wanted to go back a little bit from a historic standpoint. These are the same images that we showed you in November, but wanted to provide these for context. So when the Maple Dell neighborhood was originally prepared, the image on your left is what was thought to be there. It was a combination of multifamily and duplexes, along with a clubhouse. You can see there the attempt of kind of a circulation pattern that would allow residents to enter onto a public street. Since that time and introduced in 2024 is the image on your right, which is what we're most similar to. So it was a combination of townhomes, which were for sale, public roads, and well as single family. This is the image that we're looking at today. It is a combination of townhomes, detention pond, and single family as well. So very similar to that concept plan that was introduced in 2024. I'll highlight 3 different areas, and then we're only focusing on one of those areas tonight. So this plan shows alley loaded elevations, which is highlighted in the red. It shows front loaded elevations, and those are both townhome models shown in the green. And then we have our single family lots, which is 8 of those. So tonight we're only talking about the alley loaded elevations. We anticipate David Weekley coming back in the future for both the front-loaded option as well as the single-family lots. When we provided this to you in November, we were providing three different elevations before. Tonight we're showing one. So the elevations along 116th Street as well as the internal streets are all the same. So here is our front elevation. These are 4-unit townhomes. All these have the ability to have outdoor space along the ground floor, which you'll see in the isometric view. Units 1 and 4 have outdoor areas on the front, and then units 2 and 3 have outdoor areas on the rear. All garages will have decorative garage doors, which in this instance is a glass on that top layer of that garage. It's a combination of a hardy blank material, 2 different colors, and then a brick wrap that is around the first and second story. This isometric view, you can see the option of that patio area, again, allowing people to have outdoor areas. I think that was one of the main concerns from this committee in the past. David Weekley got those comments from the previous builder and presented those here tonight. Here is an isometric view of the rear. Again, you can see that brick wrap that wraps around, also modulation on both the left and right side. And the packets they provided you, they also have the floor plan. If you guys are interested in that, that kind of shows the reasons why some of these things are where they are. I think the biggest things that staff worked with them on is to make sure we had outdoor space for these residents to utilize both along the street and in the rear. So each unit has an option. With that, there are a couple items that we're asking waivers from. These are not unusual, so I just wanted to highlight them. We typically have a waiver that surrounds masonry. The petitioner is meeting that, so that's something that you guys usually see that we're not asking for tonight. I wanted to highlight that as well as something that the petitioner worked on. So the 3 waivers that we're requesting is section 2.4 facades. Windows shall have a decorative header of stone or masonry. We don't believe that is required here. Section 2.4 facade structures shall articulate horizontal and vertically a minimum of 2 feet for every 50 feet. They have exemplified modulations on all 4 sides on these elevations. And then last but not least, figure 1.3, we have requested a 2-foot minimum front yard setback in our standards, but we're requesting tonight setbacks as presented. I'm happy to answer any questions. The team here from Boomerang and David Weekley are here as well.
Open the floor to any questions from the committee.
I would just like to state to staff, I know that you've worked with this team and gone through numerous iterations of this. Some of them I've seen along the way. And I think we really have this to a good point. I really like the product that we have here. So I want to say, thank you to you guys and thank you to staff for really working hard on this and really coming up with something that I think really looks like that it's going to be a good product. My only concern, and I know I've expressed this to a couple, is the green strips between the driveways. I'd like to see irrigation in there. I want to make sure that in 2 to 5 years that those grass strips don't look ugly from lack of irrigation, from being driven over. What can we do to kind of keep those areas really looking nice? But I really like this product.
Chime in too. I agree. I like the front elevation. I think it gives good articulation. My concern was along 116th Street, what was visible, knowing that that's such a, that's our main corridor, commercial corridor. That was my concern that I expressed before with the other project. It was close, if you will. But I did want to clarify, Ross, didn't they even make some changes? I think there was a rear elevation change that carried the masonry a little further than it was previously. Because I just was going to note what I see here is, it looks very nice. I thought that was changed
Yeah, so what I did not present to you was the 3 iterations that staff worked with them
Okay.
beforehand. And so correct. So
Okay.
I think I floated those by a couple of you. and
Yeah,
so
exactly, which, and we commented to that and appreciate you making a change. I think it just dresses it up. It's gonna be visible enough, but, yeah, I think otherwise I'm supportive of the project, so.
I think it was really nice as well.
Is the landscaping plan included or just suggested?
So we review the landscaping plan as part of the TAC review. So that is already going through our process. So we'll verify that all the landscaping is allowed and permitted. And we can discuss with them how we make sure that that the comment from Councilor Solers is not only for this product, it's across the city. We've seen townhome products that go in, they look great, and then we have immediate concerns with those rear areas. So we'll work with them on that.
That's a good question. Just to clarify, is the, I don't know what you call it, the landscape fencing, is that going to be what you see and installed along 116th Street? I think that gives it a nice look.
We would like to install it there. I
Okay.
think there's still discussions about whether Citizens Energy, whether it falls within or without their easement. And so I don't want to overpromise until we have clarification from citizens. They're dictating a lot of decisions we had to make on the front of these buildings because that's where the water meters are located.
So the water main runs along 116th Street?
Yeah.
Okay.
They make you put the meters outside the easement now. It used to be inside the easement, now it's outside.
Really?
They
Okay.
might own it.
On the owner
It's a
side.
lot. Yeah, it's a lot. So we had to shift the buildings back.
If you were to agree that it would be homeowner responsibility for that sort of repair, if they ever need to get in, would they go along with that?
It's our desire to put the fences there.
Yeah.
So we're going to continue that.
Okay, use your best efforts.
Yeah.
I think it adds a lot. I think it's a nice look.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any other comments? Is there any public comments? This meeting never has public? I thought there might be online.
No, we receive.
I'll make a motion to approve. Did
You
we
need
get
to
comments?
qualify the waivers and that sort of thing?
So staff requests if you make a motion to approve, it includes the
The 3 waivers. Go ahead and
Okay.
correct it, Rich, for me.
So I guess amending Selena's recommendation to approve to include the 3 waivers. I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is passed.
Aye.
Good job.
What's your plan for the other two, like the single family homes and then the next phase? When do you think you'll be coming back?
As soon as possible.
Okay.
We're motivated to
Do it all at once?
commence construction of the development here again in the next couple of months.
Yeah, okay.
So you'll start construction this summer, and then when do you expect residents to be able to move in?
No later than spring
No later than spring? Okay.
is the.
Trust me, I get asked questions on this property all the time.
I was surprised what the outcome was the last time. But more matters there than.
you drive by, it looks like they're ready to go.
Yeah, not a lot of site work required.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank
thank
you. Now, Ross, we have the second
We
property.
do have a second item.
Okay.
So the second item before you is NPR 26-2. The last one was 25-2 for the record. So 26-2, this is a single family property located at 11345 Meadows Drive, known as the Nixon resident. Here is a site location of that property, 11345 Meadows Drive. You can see to the south is some of those homes that have been constructed by Gradison Homes. As mentioned earlier, this property is also in our village center, which we anticipate is our typical population center for our area. Here is a site plan or the plot plan, which was also provided in the staff report. You can see here, we have a side yard setback of 5 feet on the south. And as of right now, this lot is not being further subdivided. So this is an existing lot where the existing home is to be demoed and this home is to be replaced. With all development in this area, we anticipate that northern lot line could eventually shift down. So which is why you're seeing the elevation presented as the way that it is. There's no guarantee of that, but that is staff's anticipation, and the developer can speak on that as well. The house to the south also has a 5-foot setback, so these homes will currently be 10 feet apart from each other. This home is approximately 11 feet off the front property line. The home to the south is 12 feet, so they are very similar in nature. Provided here is a front elevation, which is east. That is the front of the house. The garage that's in front, so it is a 3-car garage. Side elevation is the north. That is the one that has that larger setback as of right now. The rear elevation is on the west side, so it faces the backyard. And then the side elevation is there on the right. That's the south one. That is the one that is 5 feet away from the property to the south. I also provided isometric views to kind of show you where the garage sits as the front of the house is right here. So we also have a basement, so that egress for the basement entrance is located on the north side. We do have to make sure we have setbacks for for basement access. Again, another isometric view of the rear and south side. With this, I do bring back that facade masonry waiver request. Staff is generally supportive of this. There is masonry on the front elevation, which is the one that is primary seen along the public road. All other sides are a combination of hardy plank. Also requesting waiver from the windows having decorative headers of stone or masonry. That is a standard ask of staff. I talked a little bit about this before with our committee about articulation. On this one in particular, we're anticipating this area to develop, and these homes are typically pretty close together with those setbacks. So the modulations that staff is really encouraging are more on the front and the rear versus the sides. So again, here you're not seeing any modulation on the side elevations of these based on their setbacks. And then lastly, requesting a deviation from the front yard setback of 2 feet. Staff is showing this as approximately 11 feet, which is in line with the Gradison home to the south. So, happy to answer any question. Dree's home is here, as well as Mr. Nickman.
Any questions from the committee?
I had a question first. In the presentation package, there was a first floor plan that was repeated twice. There's
Right.
not a second floor. How many bedrooms will there be in the unit, in the home?
3 bedrooms.
3 bedrooms, all upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's all bedrooms on the third or the second floor?
Bedrooms in the wall area. Okay. And as the staff there, I apologize. I'd see that too, because it's just the
It's
same.
just duplicated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was confusing when I saw that. I was like, okay, I didn't know what,
That'd be a weird house.
yeah.
Could you clarify? I just drove by the site, and so I saw part of it was demolished, and then there was a residence. Go back to the lot one. Are you proposing building on the part that's already demolished? Okay, and then they're existing, but you're saying that there's a development proposed for the one next to it?
I'm just saying that the reason that that setback is so much different and we're not like centering the house
Uh-huh.
is there's opportunities for the lot to the north to re-subdivide that could then shrink this lot a
A
little.
lot of
Okay.
that area has been
Yes,
developed as,
yeah.
creating more lots,
Yeah.
narrower lots.
Originally, looking at it, I was concerned about the side elevations, but then to your point, when you go and look, you're not going, that's so close together that you don't see, and I see why with the kitchen, the cabinetry space. So I see why. The front elevation, I was hoping that the door, it looks a little empty, on that side, but I understand what you're trying to do with the bathroom there. And so on the top, so the porch goes in and then the top, those 3 windows, does that come out to meet? Or is that in line with the hardy plank? Trying to see with the brick and the hardy, are those in the same plane?
They're on the same plane horizontally, but the brick area, the roof line is lifted up a couple feet. to kind of give a little enhancement to the front door. And I think kind of in that blank space next to the front door, I plan to put a hanging outdoor light fixture, kind of like an outdoor not chandelier, but something to kind of fill that area. And it'll be a little,
Instead of a large door or a window or,
yeah. I didn't really want any, well, I mean, the bathroom's there, so I didn't really want a window right in the bathroom, but even regardless, just kind of the way this neighborhood is slowly coming along, I wanted mostly privacy on the front, a little more than somebody just being able to walk up and kind of see right in the house. So there's those windows on the door, all the other windows on the front. It's kind of a balance to try to get a ton of windows on the front, but also have privacy. So the windows all in the garage, just look in the garage. The windows on the right side with that darker board bed that looks into like a little home organization room that blocks off the kitchen. The top is the loft. So just trying to get windows on the front, but also not expose the whole house to the street.
Maybe while we're talking about the front elevation, I think, Selena, you got some questions about the rear, but while we're on the front,
I have
then
problems
maybe
too,
this,
but go ahead.
okay. I assume that's the hardy on the right side, the dark material, and it's hardy on the left side. Could you carry that dark material over on the exposed side of the garage? Just because you got the same, hardy up top you're looking at. Just to, I don't know, then if you're gonna have, it's hardy on the garage face as well, where you drive in, that's gonna be the same hardy, just to give it some different material, that breaks up that front elevation. I mean, I can't imagine it'd be that much difference. I don't know how you all feel, but it
So
just,
make the front of the garage, not where the garage doors are, but the other side, make it dark.
yeah, like I was just thinking right in here, you take this material and do this. I mean, it's both color differentiating and material differentiating that I think would look nice and not really be any cost difference, because you're carrying the same hardy material. I don't know how you guys feel. My concern is what's visible, same, sort of things that, I think Ross has done a good job just explaining what's going to likely happen and why the side elevations maybe aren't as important.
I think I like it with the dark there. Yeah, I
How
think
do you
I
guys
like
feel?
that. But my other thing is, I'd also like to see, I know they're not facing the front, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know the last time I approved something that didn't have upgraded garage doors. That they had some type of decorative thing. It doesn't have to be windows, but they're
Isn't
kind
it
of
they would?
upgraded. Huh?
are those proposed wood?
I doubt it.
Panel.
No, I can't imagine.
We actually haven't selected the garage doors yet, so I'm not exactly sure what those will look like. I would like something that looks nice for sure. I don't think I want anything with windows just because.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think it has to have windows, especially since you have windows in the garage. You're gonna have enough light in there.
He's got hardware on him, right? Now, I mean, again, I'm envisioning it's just some sort of insulated metal door, right?
Yeah, that's kind of the one thing that I'm not exactly sure what all the various options, we haven't selected that, so that kind of just got plugged in. Personally, I probably would do the hardware, I don't think it fits the kind of the more contemporary style of the house, so.
I don't even know what's typical out there on the garages.
Plain.
Are they?
Yeah, some are
Plain with
pretty
windows.
flat, kind of panels, some have windows, some don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say have plain with windows, or plain and then with windows. But you can also get all kinds of decorative stuff. I mean, you can get them like where they look like barn doors. That doesn't match this house, but I mean, you can get an upgraded garage door
So,
there.
they are correct, in the elevations that were presented to you guys, it says like to be determined on another time.
Okay.
Okay.
By the owner. So if that's the direction you guys have, I'm happy to, when it's submitted, verify
Work it out.
that there's something that we count as decorative,
Okay.
which is
Yeah.
different in other areas. So a more traditional neighborhood may have
Yeah,
more of this carriage style, which may not fit for every neighborhood. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
happy
was
to
gonna
work
say
with
that
them
doesn't.
on that.
And then on the back, going to that elevation, again, it looks out onto that ditch. and then there's the trail there. And let's just say I've had way too many conversations about, I don't want people on the trail looking at my property. And, if there can be some type of landscaping, fencing, berm along that trail, work with staff on it. I don't know, I know that it may be your mother, I think that I heard was gonna live here or something like that. But if it's the next owner, I don't want to hear I don't want them coming to me and saying, they can look at the people on the trail can look at my house. And when we looked at some of the neighbors, they have some of it looks like some pretty thick foliage along there that kind of creates a barrier to where they can sit out on their back patio there and, enjoy an evening without having to just be stared down.
Yeah, so last week I actually met with Mr. Nixon already to talk about rear yard and privacy, and so that's top of mind for them, along with his other neighbors, right? So the trail users probably don't want to look in the back of those homes, and those homes don't want to look at the trail users, so.
Yeah, so what's the scope of this committee versus others versus homeowner preference on landscaping?
Yeah, so your scope really is to focus on the four sides of architecture. But at the direction of those items, I'm happy to work with the property owner to
And just,
still try to.
Yeah, we're just making comments for him to be able to kind of work with them on.
okay. Well, I didn't know since you suggested perhaps berms, if there was some site work that.
Yeah, different people do different things,
This one actually has a really nice big tree line across.
Okay.
That's why I wouldn't.
That's right.
That you're gonna preserve?
You know,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
that's good.
definitely it's almost all locust trees, which are beautiful. There's a lot of that honeysuckle that's like that.
Yeah, but it's thick.
I might clear,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it does block it off, but generally speaking, it's not one of the lots that's like kind of just wide open to the trail.
Got
Any other questions or comments on this property?
I'll make a motion to approve based on staff recommendations and then the continued work with staff on the landscaping and
And the
the
waiver
With
request.
waivers?
the waivers, but also I think we wanted that front of that garage dark, right?
I think Ross said he could work with him on that. Is that?
Are you gonna work with them on that? Okay.
I don't think Mr. Nixon gave any direction on whether you want to change the material. I'm happy to work on the garage door.
Okay, the garage door and then the front of the garage where the windows are. Yeah, I think you could, well, I don't know that you want to do the brick, but I do think doing the dark there. I don't know. I'd want to see it and be able to pick A or B. But I'm going to trust staff to
Okay.
work with them on that. So to continue to work with staff on this elevation a little bit, on the garage doors, the front of the garage, and for the waivers that staff has requested. I'll make a motion to approve on that.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor of approving the motion, say aye.
Aye. There you have
Motion
it.
has passed.
You're in Ross's hands, Joe.
Good answer.
Okay, what is next here? Any staff communication?
I don't have a next meeting date for you yet. I do hope that we meet again in 2026. I don't like seeing you guys once a year. I don't have a date for you, so we'll be in touch on that.
Are there
There
any
was on-
pending,
I thought there was one on, am I wrong?
There is one later this month, which we no longer will need.
So you're right, no,
And we'll
yeah.
cancel that one. But if we're looking into June or July, we'll have to let you know.
We're hoping Maple Delta.
I think you had said
Yes, they are anticipating soon.
there's some things that you're looking at or talking about that might materialize, is that correct?
Correct,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
but no hard dates yet.
Yeah, got it, okay.
That's it for me.
I hope it happens.
Okay. If there's no further business, make a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Yep.
All right, we're adjourned.
All right.
Get your. There you go.
There you have it.